Let's start out looking at the important values of sine and cosine. Recall from the previous section that we can obtain the values for cosine theta and sine theta by using the corresponding values of x and y on the unit circle. With this in mind, it's easy to get the values of cosine and sine for angles that are multiples of 90 degrees. If we take a look at the unit circle, we can see, and we pretty much said this before, that the values of sine and cosine are the x's and the y's. Well, sine would be y and cosine would be x. And we've kind of said this before, that in degrees, and I'm going to just talk about degrees now. Some of you are familiar with radians, and I've started to include those in places, but we'll talk about those a little bit later on in the course. So if we were at 0 degrees, our cosine is 1 and our sine is 0. Again, x and y. At 90 degrees, our cosine is 0, our sine is 1. At 180 degrees, our cosine value is -1 and our sine value is 0. At 270 degrees, our cosine value is 0, our sine is -1, and when we come back around to 360, we have the same values we would have at 0 degrees, and so our cosine of 360 is 1 and our sine of 360 is 0. You should make sure to memorize these values. I have to confess, I remember them myself just by using the unit circle approach that was discussed above. And I just remember cosine's always the x's and sine's the y's. And I just think to myself, what does the unit circle look like? And I find that to be very helpful, much more helpful than just trying to purely memorize the values.